Welcome to Hey Dr. Sue. So people submit their sex questions to me anonymously, and once a week I post one question and one answer. Do you have a sex question you've always wanted answered? Go ahead and check out the description for information on how to submit it anonymously. This week's question is, why do girls never make the first move, even on Tinder? I feel like I need to start by saying that this isn't true for all women. I know lots of women who make the first move, and I know lots of men who love that. But I also know women who will not make the first move and some men who hate when women do. A lot of this comes back to what people are taught about what's appropriate for their gender. And I'm hoping that you heard the air quotes there. While there's definitely been a change in expected gender roles and what's appropriate for men and women since I was a kid, traditionally in male-female relationships, the power dynamic has often been based off men being aggressive and the women being more submissive. And this begins with the very first romantic interaction. For some women, they were taught that making the first move was just wrong, that they were supposed to always wait for the guy to initiate conversation. And I get that part of the role of one's culture is to give people expectations and also boundaries. But with that said, I want to point out two issues I have with the idea of women waiting for men to make the first move. The first is that while we often teach women that waiting for the man to initiate is appropriate, we don't actually tell them the why behind it, other than just to say that that's what women are supposed to do. We don't explain to them that it's what helps sets the power dynamic from the very beginning. And I think if more women realize this, more women would question it. It also doesn't account for the changes in relationships in the 21st century, like Tinder. I know Bumble has tried to change that dynamic, and if you're out there and you've used it, I'd love to hear what people think about it. Let me point out that I'm not saying that women choosing to wait for men to make the first move is right or wrong. I can understand the sense of validation that it gives and how that plays into what the ideas that some people are comfortable with. Having recently lived in Texas, I saw a lot more women there than I did on the East Coast who subscribe to these kinds of beliefs and were actually offended at the idea that they should make the first move. And I've seen a lot of men who quite honestly feel uncomfortable when women make the first move, as if somehow their manhood was being questioned. When it comes to what's right, it really all comes down to what people are comfortable with and what's right for them. For some women, that means never making the first move, even on Tinder. Until next time, be safe and have fun. Did you enjoy that video? If so, make sure to like it. Also, make sure to subscribe. It lets you know when new videos are coming out and it helps to support the channel. Check out the description for information on how to find me on Instagram and Medium.